Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Stop Shitting on Yourself. I am Jessica.
And I'm Jamie. How's your week been, Jessica?
You know, this week is a good week, and I'm very much looking forward to the weekend to celebrate, but it's been a good week.
Okay. We got a couple days until the weekend, so gonna live it up a little bit.
Yeah, definitely grabbing a drink at home, though.
Okay. Oh, right, because like the other
Yeah.
variants of COVID, it's just crazy. It's crazy out there.
Yeah. So I'll be enjoying at home.
Okay,
What about you?
that's smart. That's smart. My week has been great. I mean, it's been great. It's been good. I don't know about great. It's been good. It's been okay, just kind of smooth sailing type of thing. But I do have an update for you.
Ooh.
Not about me.
Oh.
Not about me.
I was like, has it been working?
The manifestations hasn't been working. No, not that. But remember, I don't know if it was last episode or a couple episodes ago. Remember when I told you about the friend who was taking a break from her significant other?
Yes.
Things weren't working out. And then we talked about whether we believed in a break or not.
Mm-hmm.
Type of thing. And I asked you about your opinions about that.
Yeah.
Okay. So guess what, Jessica?
They broke up? Well, you're happy, so they got back together?
Well, am I happy about it? I don't know. I'm just happy to spill the tea.
Yeah.
But they did. They actually did get back together.
Wow. Okay.
I know, right? I know, right? I was like, wait, after all of that, girl, you're gonna tell me that you got back together with the dude.
Okay.
I mean, okay. I mean, hey, once again, it's her life. It's her romantic relationship. So
good for her and him. Good for them. I don't know. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I guess, right? But I mean,
I guess
it's whatever. They can do whatever with their relationship. I'll still support them and support her and be there for her and all of that, right?
Yeah.
But I wanted to bring up the question today. How do you feel about second chances?
Oh, hell no.
No, absolutely not.
Okay, look. I want to say, young Jessica, fresh out of high school.
Girl, you hold up. You still are young. So I don't know.
Yes. So baby Jessica,
okay.
In first relationship, Jessica, I was all about second chances. I was my boyfriend can do no wrong. Anything they do, we can work through it together. We can get through it,
right.
I was all about that second chance life, Now having lived through some relationships, it's just not worth my time and day.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So do you have a personal experience with giving second chances? Is that why? Or what
I don't
brings you to that conclusion?
I've never had an ex asking for a second chance, or I've never asked an ex for a second chance. It's never gone to that because I feel and none of my relationships were on terrible breakups or anything. But I just can't imagine getting back together with the same person, especially after I've made the decision okay, it's done. There's nothing left. That's it. So why do it again?
Okay. Okay. I mean, I have to say that I agree with you. On a personal stance, I don't believe in second chances just because of personal experience. Where I've given out second chances where I'm like, okay, maybe this could work. Maybe we can try this again because of the things that the person is saying. Obviously shit didn't work out. Okay.
Yeah.
But I do believe that second chances could work. It's just personal experience wise, and me personally, I mean, I just can't do it. But I know that it can work because I've also seen it work in other relationships too with other people. But I think it really takes a lot of work on both ends for the second chance to actually work. Like,
Mhm.
first of all, I think both parties need to be hella committed
Oh,
to
yeah.
bettering themselves and bettering the relationship, right? Like,
Mhm.
they can't just be, they can't just throw out, oh, like I want this relationship back and I love you so much, so please give me a second chance. Like, no, you have to actually have an action plan and you actually have to spend the time to do the self work on
Mhm.
reflecting, maybe like, unlearning certain toxic behaviors or even just going to therapy,
Mm, mhm.
you know? But I think there needs to be some time spent on bettering yourself in order to actually make that second chance work. Because
Yeah.
otherwise, it's just empty words.
Yeah, totally. I completely agree. Like I have definitely seen in other relationships where second chances have worked. I've
Yeah.
even seen relationships where like they've been apart for a few years and then
Mhm.
they, got back together and they're still in a
Wow.
relationship. So I've definitely seen it work. But I
Okay.
agree with you. I think for me, I feel like most relationships, like obviously there are ones where it's like, you lay a hand on someone that's like I don't,
Girl, get out.
believe in that
Mm,
exactly. Or
mm-mm.
there's like certain, extreme relationships where it's like that just crosses a personal line. But I
Right.
feel like for the most part, a lot of relationships, they either it's like, last straw on the camel's back type of thing where it's like multiple
Mm,
things that slowly
right.
build up to that break.
Right.
Um, and it's not something that it's not like if you fix the last thing that happened between you guys, like that's a
Yeah.
fixed relationship. You have to
Right.
fix kind of everything else. And that takes a lot of time, a lot of work between the two of you, obviously, because it's a lot of communicating, a lot of getting
Hmm.
past it and
Right.
resolving, but it's a lot of personal work too. Figuring out
Yeah.
like, now that maybe you're a few years older, like are
Hmm.
those personal lines that you don't want to cross anymore? Or like do you even want to put up with that? And if you do,
Right.
like where do you draw the line? And that's all communication. And I don't know, it's just to me it's so hard because it's also
Hmm.
really hard to pinpoint specific things that made a relationship not work, I feel like.
That's true. And it's like you said, it's not just one thing
Mhm.
that made that relationship break. And therefore, you can't pinpoint one thing. Like,
Yeah.
right? And even in the moment of communicating, like what had happened or what might need to change between the both of you, you might not remember every single thing that had hurt you at the moment. And so
Yeah.
it has to be like an ongoing continuous conversation between the two of you, and it's not just talking about it, but
Mhm.
it's really thinking about, well, what am I going to do to change something that I did that my partner didn't like, and maybe
Yeah.
that is for the better, right?
Mhm.
Like there are certain things that we might not want to change about ourselves that you don't have to change, right? Like you don't have to change yourself completely to sustain a relationship because you don't want to give up who you actually are.
Mhm.
But then there are certain traits about people that, like you can change it for the better. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, you can compromise. It's not going to completely harm you. It's not going to
Right.
hurt you, right? Like, if anything, it would make you better or your relationship better. So,
Mhm.
if you feel like the person is really worth it and you really, really actually love them and they are also willing to do the same
Yeah.
work for you, then yeah, I feel like it could work. But
Mhm.
I don't know. Like, ugh, it's just a lot of fucking work
Yeah.
to rebuild that trust that was broken, to rebuild the connection that was broken. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I guess like maybe it's because I'm thinking about relationships that are just between like two people and no children involved or
Mm.
anything like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like it's just a lot of freaking work to rebuild everything.
But, I feel like even if you do have kids and again, like, neither of us have kids, so we can't truly speak for people in that
Yeah.
situation, but I have seen so many people stay together because
Hmm.
they have kids.
Mm.
And I feel like, just because you stay together doesn't mean you're happy, right? You might try to be
Hmm.
happy in front of your kids. You might try not to have arguments in front of your kids, but like kids are
Right.
smart. I like kids know when
Yeah.
their parents aren't happy and it
Right.
sort of puts a burden on the kid too when they're growing up. So again, like I can really can't speak for parents because I'm not in that position.
Yeah.
Um But a lot of times, like, it might be doing the kids and, obviously yourself more harm than good staying in a relationship just because of kids. And I think that's also why,
Mm.
psychology 101, psych major here.
Uh-huh.
Like, they're like, you can pinpoint peak periods of divorce, right? It's like,
Uh-huh.
after the honeymoon period, so like the first 2 years of relationship. And then, once you guys get into living together and homes and things like that, that's where you see another peak of divorce. And then like the last peak of divorce is like once your kid goes off to college and they're 18, like you no longer
Mm,
have that burden. So
I
you
see.
get divorced. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I do feel like, yes, I get it. Like kids or even maybe even other things.
Mm-hmm.
Um, makes the situation a lot harder and maybe
Mm.
makes it so that it might be worth more of a second chance than maybe just like two
Mm-hmm.
people being in a relationship. But
Right.
it's so much work, and I don't know that, if I broke up because of a specific reason with someone, that I can truly get past something. Like I can say that I can get past certain things, but I'm a very petty person. Like I'm stubborn as hell.
Are
So
you?
I am a
Oh my
100%,
God.
like, if you can think of a Taurus, I am like 100% to the T of a Taurus.
Oh
So
my
I am
gosh.
so stubborn that I'm like, nah,
So once you're like set in your ways, you're done, you're good. Like
yep,
that's
I'm
it.
done. Exactly. I'm
Yo,
done.
that is so funny. Cause I mean, and maybe that's why we are both kind of in the same stance with this particular topic because I'm a Scorpio. And for me, it's all about boundaries too and about
Mhm.
respect.
Yeah.
So so if I had like, I guess just personally speaking with personal experience,
Mhm.
um, if I think of somebody as my person, and I'm
Yeah.
speaking like romantic relationships, but also friendships or whatever, right? If
Mhm.
I see you as my person, you're my friend, you're my boo, like I trust you, you trust me, and we've built a relationship where it's like, okay, cool, like I can fully trust you and I love you and I have so much love in my heart for you,
Mhm.
then I'm loyal as right? It's like
Mm.
we're right and die, bitch, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think that's why when somebody does cross a line with me, when somebody does cross a hard boundary, or they are disrespectful as fuck, or they betray me, or they are unloyal as like, I think because I would never do that to my friend or my person, if somebody does that to me, then there's absolutely no way that there would be a second chance. Because it's like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that to you. So why the fuck, right? You're my person. Why the fuck
Mhm.
would you do that to me? If you think that it's okay to do that to me, then no, absolutely not. Like you already crossed my boundary that
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
probably have told you about before. Because the thing is, like, personally, I've I like to talk about things with my partners, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Even with my friends, right? I'm like, "Hey, look, like this wasn't cool. Like I don't like this, right? This is not okay with me because A, B, C, and D." And I'll like
Mhm.
explain it to them if I trust them enough, right? But like if it gets to a point where I'm like, this, I'm done because you
Mhm.
cross it too many times or you crossed it again or you just like fucking betrayed the shit out of me, then like there's no going back. Like,
Yeah.
because if you think about second chances, then I don't know. It's like once, one thing that we talked about was all the work that you have to do and your partner has to do in order
Mhm.
to, make the second, I guess, chance or relationship work. But
Yeah.
also, like, how much of yourself are you compromising in order to allow that person back into your life? You
Exactly.
know,
Yeah.
like, and I don't know, that's a Scorpio meme. It's like, shit, man, if you weren't loyal to me, if you like cross my boundaries real hard after me
Mhm.
like talking to you and telling you about it, like, nah, man, that's not cool. That's not cool. Like, I can't
Yeah.
compromise that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you don't owe anybody anything. Like whether you have kids together, whether you've been in a relationship for like forever, even if you've been in a relationship for like 3 weeks, like you literally don't owe the other person anything to stay in that relationship. Like it's for me, that's just how I personally feel. I it seems like you feel slightly differently about that, but
I'm
that's
like,
just
I'm thinking about it.
Well, that's just how I personally feel. It's like I know that
Yeah.
there's a lot of like emotional ties. There's, like even if you someone put you through school, your significant other put you through school, they're like your ride and die from, and up until a certain moment. I
Mhm.
feel like once you've decided that like because they've crossed this personal line and you just can't forgive that,
Mhm.
you don't owe them anything to get back into that relationship with them.
Mm. Yeah. It's like you don't have to like get back with them because they asked you and because you feel bad. It's out of like pity
Exactly.
or whatnot. Yeah.
Exactly.
No.
Yeah.
So I agree with what you're saying. I know those of you who are listening right now, you probably can't see my facial expressions, but I did have a really confused look for a second. Just because I was thinking about what you were saying in terms of like you don't owe anybody anything. But I think after what you just said, I totally agree. Like you don't owe it to that person to give them a second chance just because of your
Mhm.
history or because you love them or whatnot, right?
Yeah.
But I do feel like given the bond that you have with the person, given the, I don't know, I guess like emotional like tie, I guess you have with that person and the investment
Mhm.
that you made with that person, given that, I think you do owe it to yourself to find a resolution, whether it is completely ending it and then cutting shit off or like ending it and then giving an explanation to them too about
Yeah.
like why you don't want to give them a second chance or why it is literally the end for you. And
Mhm.
I feel like I don't know, personally I kind of lean towards more the latter unless
Yeah.
like something really bad happened, you know what I mean? But
Mhm.
like even then I'd probably, say something be like we're done. We're done because A B C and D,
Right.
you know,
Mhm.
just because, you know, you have history. Like
Yeah.
it's hard to just say like you don't owe anybody anything if you've had that bond and that history and you've
Mhm.
um like had that kind of relationship with somebody. But I get what you mean in terms of you don't owe them a second chance
Right.
because of
Right.
your history. That's different. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Maybe like a better way of putting it, it's like you don't owe your significant other or your past significant other to do anything that you don't feel like is right for you anymore in that moment.
Mhm.
So don't be pressured into going back into a relationship just because you guys have had the history. Don't feel
Right.
pressured to get back to them because, you have kids or you have other burdens that you guys share
Mhm.
together. I think
Right.
those things can all be solved with other solutions, I'm sure. Whether
Yeah.
it's like shared custody for kids. Again, I don't have kids. I don't really know how this thing
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
works with kids, but I feel like, and maybe I'm speaking from a very logical perspective, that there are a lot of things that you can solve, even when you guys aren't together anymore. And,
Hmm.
you can't just go back to like, let's give this person a second chance and hope they do better because we have all these
Mhm.
other ties. I think that's what I'm kind of trying to convey. It's like there are alternative solutions if you guys are, tied by other things. Even if you're not,
Mhm.
you don't owe the other person to give them a second chance to, be back into a relationship just because you guys
Mhm.
have done it once before.
Mhm. Yeah, that's true. That is true. Um Yeah, I mean, second chances are kind of messy. I don't know. I feel like it's hard to
Yeah.
do that, especially if like something really big happened, or even if it didn't. Like you said, there's a lot of shit that just piles up and gets like brushed underneath the rug, and you're like, okay, let me just look at what I had to kind of, you know, bury for a little bit, and then
Yeah.
you start to dig up certain things that happened in the relationship, and you have to revisit all of that. But once again, if both partners are 100% committed to doing the work,
Hmm.
I feel like second chances can work, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like if your partner is literally just like, I was so dumb. I didn't mean what I said and what I did. Can you please forgive me? I just really love you. And I did blah 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 blah. And says all these like stupid shit without actually taking the time to do the self-work. That no,
Yeah.
that's not gonna work. It's just gonna be like a repeat of whatever had happened in the relationship that made it go downhill. It's gonna be a repeat.
Yeah. I 100% agree. Like, it's just a lot of work. It's a lot of work that I feel like a lot of people don't anticipate how much work it's going to be.
Yeah.
So it's easy to be like, oh yeah, let's give it a second go or whatever, you know?
Right. So easy.
Um, but the actual work, I don't think most people anticipate it. So
No.
it's a
'Cause
lot
it's
of work.
much yeah, it's so much easier said than done. Like, yeah, I'm gonna do the work. Yeah, I'm gonna do this. But it's like, do you really understand like the emotional and mental impact that it's gonna have
Mhm.
on you? It's gonna be great, right? The self-growth is gonna be great. But at the same time, holy hell.
Yeah.
Like, it's just gonna be a lot. And you have to be, I don't know. I don't know if like many people get prepared for that.
I feel like, and again, this is just, me thinking a very logical way of like describing people in
Uh-huh.
general. I
Okay.
feel like, you grow as a person for sure. But I
Yeah.
feel like there's like a base, there's always like a base Jessica, there's like a base,
Uh-huh.
Jamie, that you
Okay.
grow from that, but you don't, unless like a huge, huge live event happens, it doesn't
Mhm.
change who you are at the core. So
Okay.
if you're someone who consistently defaults to yelling at your partner,
Mhm.
it takes so much to change that behavior,
Yeah.
and it takes a lot
And
of like
it's
restraint, it takes a lot of
right.
like work, and it also takes a lot of effort on the person who has to figure out how to deal with someone who's explosive like that.
Right.
So yes, you can say like, I'm going to do all the self work I can to like better myself, to make myself better. Again, I feel like at the core it's so hard to change someone like
Yeah.
when you've already been building up this person for years and years.
Right.
um but it's like the other person now has to do more self work to figure out how to deal with you in that situation. And
Yeah.
especially if you don't take yourself away from that situation, you're just
Mhm.
asking for the same thing to get repeated again.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think like when you get back into that relationship, if there is a second chance, like it's continuous work, right? Like just
Mhm.
because you did the work during the time away or, whatever period that you both said you're going to do some self-work, it doesn't stop there. You have to actually practice what you learned in order to sustain a healthier relationship given the second chance, if you are given a second chance, right?
Yeah.
So, and that's a hard part. That is literally the freaking hard part because it's like, okay, I understand this about myself, but can I actually put that into practice? And I think
Yeah.
that's when you understand whether you've like really grown or not,
Mhm.
because shit will test you. People will test you. Circumstances will test you,
Yeah.
right? So, yeah, if there is a situation where you get so angry and you want to be explosive and like go back to that habit of yelling at your partner, you really do need to take a step back and whew, just, you know, like
Yeah.
practice the skills that you learned during that self work time. If you even took that time, but if you didn't, then chances, you know what I mean? But I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I honestly, not a big fan of second chances. I've maybe it's the way that like I've gone about it in the past. Maybe it's because of that it didn't work out.
Yeah.
But every time I gave a second chance, it was like, nah,
Yeah.
no,
Same shit, different
no.
day.
Yeah, pretty much, pretty much. And then shit just kind of it
Yeah.
just ended just like that. It was like it was inevitable. So, um, yeah, girl. I don't know how my girlfriend's doing it, but she's doing it. But
Yeah, she's doing it. But hey, like I said, like this is not an advice podcast, for the 10,000th time. It's not an advice podcast. It's just how
yeah,
we have seen other relationships play out, maybe how relationships in the past have played out for us. This is just how we would go about dealing with things now. But every relationship is different. Maybe the self work
mhm,
isn't done. Maybe it's going to be done together, or maybe you give someone a second chance and it doesn't end up working out. Like,
yeah,
it happens, and we're not saying like
right.
100% no, it's definitely by circumstance. But if
Yeah,
I had the
yeah, yeah.
chance, like second chance, no second chance, like,
Eh, mm, eh,
yeah,
hmm, eh,
exactly.
done. No, yeah, not going there. I
Hmm.
don't know. I can't. I don't think I could do it.
Yeah,
You too?
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, no second chances.
yeah, we're
No
definitely
second
on the
chances.
same page there.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
That's why we're
So,
friends.
yeah,
I mean, are,
exactly.
are, are like Tauruses and Scorpios compatible? Is that what it is?
I don't know. I'm not like, I don't know horoscopes very well, nor do I read into it a lot, but I just know
Yeah.
that like I am the literal definition of Tauruses. I've met other Tauruses that aren't really like that, so I don't know how much I believe in horoscopes either. But
Okay.
who knows? Well, we get along, so that's all that
Yeah, we
matters.
do. I guess so. And that's why we're doing this together. Hey, friend.
Exactly. Hey.
All
All
right.
right. Well, that's everything we have for you guys today. So, as always, let us know in the comments how has second chances worked out for you guys in the past. For any of you guys who
Yeah.
have given second chances to your partner, and if it's worked out,
Hmm.
please let us know. We love seeing success stories.
We do. We do. I mean, it's very uplifting,
Yes.
so
Yeah.
we need a little bit of that in 2021. So
Yes. And probably onto 2022 and on.
yeah, absolutely.
So that's everything that we have for you guys this week. We will see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.